Hello. So today our topic will be on chemical formula and ionic compound. So before we start on how to write a chemical formula, we will look at the ions that we need to know. Now, ions, there are two kinds of ions. They are the cations and the anions. So cations are ions that are positively charged, while the anions are negatively charged. Now, the name of the ion will carry the symbol. So, for example, sodium ion. Okay, if you look here, there's sodium ion. Sodium, the symbol is Na. So, the positive sign here is the oxidation number, or we call it the charge. So, whenever we learn about formula writing, there are two things we need to know. One, we need to know the um, symbol, and the other one is the charge. So how are we supposed to know? So you have to write down a few times in order for you to practice knowing the symbol and the charge. So if you look at the list of the ions, all right, some ions are two positive, some ion are one positive, and some ion are three positive. All right, so let's look at the different charge. So we have positive one. So normally the group one, this group one, group one ions are positive one. Their charge is positive one. And then we have aluminium with three positive. So all this by practice, you will slowly know the charge and the symbol of each ion. Now, if you look carefully at ions like lead to ions. So lead to ions, all right. What you can notice here is the lead, not only lead 2, you can see iron 2. So there's the Roman 2 written there, iron 3. So this iron 2, iron 3, where there's Roman, is actually the charge. So if iron 2, that means Fe 2 plus. So 2 means 2 plus. Why there's 2 and 3? Because these are called transition element. Transition element have more than one charge. So you just follow the Roman number, so that if Roman 2 is 2 plus. So lead, copper, and iron, all these ions have Roman. And then when you look at the negative ion, so negative ion you have, for example, 7. So manganate 7. So this 7 is actually not the total charge, but actually the charge of mangan. So mangan here is Mn. So the charge of this mangan is 7. But the total charge, this negative one, is the total charge of the ion. All right, that is number one. All right. Then next, we want to know about polyatomic ion. Polyatomic ions, that are those are ions that are formed by more than one element. So for the positive charge ions, the cations, we have one polyatomic ion, that is ammonium. So ammonium NH4 plus is polyatomic. So for the negative, we have a few. Hydroxide ion. Why is hydroxide ion polyatomic? Because hydroxide ion is formed by two different elements, oxygen and hydrogen. So hydroxide ion, carbonate ion. So all these ion are actually polyatomic. So polyatomic ion, what you must know is, when you write formula using polyatomic ion, they must be in brackets. For example, you want to write um, aluminium. All right, if you write aluminium hydroxide, if the subscript number is more than 2, then you have to put them in bracket. So 3 lah, because aluminium is 3. So what you have to do is, you have to know which ions are polyatomic, which ions are non-polyatomic. So that one, when you know those, then you will know whether to put a bracket or not. So the bracket, you only put when the subscript is more than 2. Okay, so now let's look at how to write the formula. So if you already know the rule, okay, Let me just repeat the rule. The rule is polyatomic ions need to be in bracket where when the subscript number is more than 2. So what are the polyatomic ions that need to be in bracket? Are okay, ammonium, all right, ammonium NH3, all right, okay, and sorry, ammonium ion NH4 plus, and also the other negative ions starting from hydroxide, carbonate, nitrate, sulfate, dichromate, and the rest lah. Okay, let's look at formula writing. Now, formula writing you can do two ways. Okay, one is you can do cross section. So cross section means you just cross the oxidation number. So for example, you want to write the formula of magnesium hydroxide. So magnesium hydroxide. So how do we write the formula of magnesium hydroxide? Okay, we will write the ion formula Mg2 plus. All right, Mg2 plus. Then we write hydroxide. If you look at the list of ions here, okay, magnesium is Mg2 plus. All right, so magnesium hydroxide, the way to write is Mg2 plus, then hydroxide OH minus. This is one method lah. All right, cross means you use the charge, the value of the charge. So magnesium is 2, you write 2 at the bottom. If negative, that means it's 1. So you cross and then you will get magnesium. Okay, because hydroxide is a polyatomic ion, it must be in bracket. So OH2. So the subscript must be at the bottom. 2 means hydroxide, there is 2 lah. Alright, that is how you write your formula of the polyatomic ion that involves polyatomic ion. All right. So let's look at other example. Okay, these are a few formula that we're going to write. Okay, first is potassium oxide. All right, before we write the formula, you can choose whether you want cross, you want to use cross way, or you want to use total charge. Okay, let me do both for you and you see which one is suitable. So potassium oxide. So potassium is K plus, right? Oxide is O2 minus. So let's say we want to do the cross method. So cross method, we write down the value. So plus means 1. The value is 1. So you write at the bottom 1. Okay, oxide 2 minus. So the value is 2. So you cross. So 1 will go to the O and 2 will go to the potassium. So we will get K, potassium, 2, and then O. So that means we don't write the 1. Okay, this is cross method. So if you don't want to write a cross method, you can do another method where you must make sure the total charge is always 0. Okay, let's say you have positive and 2 minus. So total charge means here, this charge, the positive charge plus the negative charge, you must get 0. So how are you going to get 0? Okay, so here, there's only plus positive 1. But here you have 2 minus. So to make it 0, you have to times 2 here. So here must be 2 plus. So 2 plus, add with 2 minus, you will get 0. So, okay, because here you have to add 2, so here there must be 2 potassium. So that's all lah. Okay, 2. So you get K2O. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, another one also I'll show you 2 methods. Sodium hydroxide. So sodium is Na plus. Okay, hydroxide is OH minus. Okay, then again, hydroxide is a polyatomic ion. Okay, the value is 1 for each because it's plus 1 minus 1. So 1, 1. So you cross, you get sodium is 1, hydroxide is normally 1 we don't write down. Okay, what about the total charge method? Sodium is 1. Hydroxide also 1. So the total charge is already 0. So you don't have to times anything. So you get NaOH. Okay, let's try another one, magnesium nitrate. All right. So magnesium nitrate, we're going to also, okay, do both method. So we'll try for both method. Okay, so magnesium is Mg2 plus, nitrate is NO3 minus. So magnesium NO3. So if you want to do the cross method, okay, magnesium, what's the value? 2, right? So you write 2. Nitrate, what's the value? 1. So you cross multiplication. Okay, then write down magnesium because it's 1. We don't write the 1. Nitrate. So nitrate is a polyatomic ion. You must use a bracket. Put 2. Now, why you need bracket is you want to show that this 2 is for both oxygen and nitrogen. So if you don't put the 2, then it will become MgNO6. Cannot. So this is wrong. So that's why you have the bracket to show that the value of 2 belongs with to both. Okay, we do the total charge method. MgNO3. Okay, this is 2 plus, this minus 1. So 2 plus, how you want to make this 0? You have to times 2 here. So Mg, you have to put NO3 in bracket 2. So this is the total charge method. Okay, let's do the next one, calcium nitrate. Okay, calcium nitrate, you have to refer back lah. Calcium is Ca2 plus, nitrate is NO3 minus. So Ca2 plus, NO3 minus. Alright, so calcium is 2 plus. So if you want to do the total charge method, to make it 0, here has to be 2 lah. So if 2, CaNO3 in bracket 2. So you see which one you feel is suitable. Okay, then we have aluminum oxide. Okay, Al3 plus, O2 minus. Alright, so if for 3 and 2, you want to make it 0, so you have to change to the highest common multiplication. So the highest common multiplication for 3 and 2 is 6, right? So here you have to times 2, here you have to times 3. So here you times 2, so you get aluminium 2. Then here you times 3, oxygen 3. So make sure you write the number, the value at the bottom. Alright, then you have potassium carbonate. Okay, here is plus 1, 2 minus. So to make it neutral, times 2 to here, right? So here 2 CO3. Okay. Okay, what else? Next, let's see copper 2 sulfate. Cu2 plus, SO4, 2 minus. So 2 and 2, the total be 0. So you don't have to write. Alright, you don't have to write at the bottom. So you just write the value. Because when the charge is the same, you don't have to add any number, right? So you just write the formula. Okay, so I hope you understand about how to write ionic formula from this video. That's all from me. Thank you.